This part of the course is going to be all about knowing your people. And your people includes you, your team, your customers, and literally anyone else who interacts with your business. It could be vendors, consultants, even government officials. So you just want to know who the people are who interact with your business. Getting to know your employees. It doesn't have to be super personal unless it fits your personality. If you're not the type to go out to happy hours, don't force yourself into situations where it's going to be awkward, or if it's, improper for whatever particular reason. But if that's a part of your business, if that's part of your business's personality, then by all means do that. And when you get to know your employees on a professional level, and that's the only place where we really suggest that you do, you want to understand their strengths and weaknesses. So you're kind of performing like a SWOT analysis on them, and you want to know what motivates them as well. So is it cash? Is it a passion? Is it praise? It could be different for everybody, and it could be a combination of any of those. So get to know that so that you can, properly motivate them when, it comes to, growth or whatever it is. And you want to make sure that your management style, which we'll talk about a little bit later, fits your personality and your business. So, if you need to be strict, you have to be strict. That's fine. And, when it comes to something like accounting, like you don't want like, we're loosey-goosey. That's cool. No, that's not cool in accounting. It could be fine in marketing or whatever. We'll see what fits. But make sure the management style fits the business. Customers. You want to perform that ideal customer avatar exercise. So everything that you do needs to be targeted at one particular person. Any marketing decisions, if you're going to launch a new product, like how will that person react to what you do? Ask yourself questions like, where do they spend time online, or what social media do they use? Where do they shop when they're offline? What's their family dynamic look like? How old they are? Like all sorts of, you can get all, very specific and really define your marketing to meet that customer's particular needs. And then lastly, you want to see if they're looking for an emotional connection, or are you just a transactional business? Either is fine, but if you're a transactional business, you produce a product that's easily replaceable and you're just convenient or whatever it is, you have to own that and just know that. If they're looking for an emotional connection, then you have to own the social media side of things. It really, you need to know your business and why your customers choose to give you money. Vendors is a great area where you can just really strengthen your business. So you can, when you're first starting off, you're going to get, probably bad terms. You're not going to get the service that you would want, but you want to, review your contracts before you sign them. And as you grow, negotiate as much as possible and build a personal relationship with your vendors, because they're going to be oftentimes they're going to be larger than you and have more resources than you. But regardless, they will have access to knowledge and resources that you do not. And if times get bad, or if you need to miss a payment, or you're struggling when you move into a new market, whatever it is, you can leverage them for whatever. I mean, there's countless ways that a vendor could help you, because they're in a similar industry, but different enough that they have knowledge and resources that you don't. Professional services are important because you can't be an expert at everything. So you want to outsource whatever you can, and there's a few areas that we suggest that you definitely outsource, unless you're an expert in these areas. So insurance is important because it's a whole other language and it's different than legal. So you want to have an insurance agent and you want to have a lawyer, because the insurance agent talks a different language or speaks a different language than your lawyer does, and you don't have either one try and convince you of anything different. But the insurance person will help cover your business if things go wrong, go the wrong way. Your lawyer, again, you don't need somebody on retainer. You don't need to spend a ton of money, but you need to have that relationship so you can leverage them if you need them at some point. And then when it comes to finance, you definitely want a great accountant and you definitely want a great financial advisor. They could potentially be one and the same, but oftentimes they're different. So look for one and the other. Your accountant's going to help you more on the day-to-day things, and the financial advisor is going to give you that long-term advice. And then outside of that, there's a couple other areas that you don't necessarily need to outsource, but it could be helpful, which will free you up to focus on things that you want to focus on. And that's going to be marketing and IT. Marketing, you want to make sure that they get to know your business's personality. So if you have somebody handling your social media, whatever it is, that they sound like you. And then if you're outsourcing in IT, you want to be specific in your requirements. Just let them know what you expect up front and make sure they deliver on it. Finally, you want to get to know yourself. It's important because not everybody is self-aware. So what you do and who you are impacts your business and your team. And oftentimes your business is an accurate representation of who you are. So you want to identify your own strengths and weaknesses, and like your employees in your business SWOT, perform one on yourself. Oftentimes it might be the same as your business, but if you have a team, remember that the business isn't all about you. Your team adds personality to your business. While you're at it, you want to think about how you handle and give feedback. And so when you're a small business owner, it's easy to take the feedback on your business personally, especially if you are the business, if you're a solopreneur. But you need to be able to separate the two and realize that it's not an attack on you. It's somebody giving you feedback on your business, even if it is somebody just being a jerk and attacking your business. It's your business. It isn't you. And when you're giving feedback, just be sure that you're clear about the intent when you're giving feedback to your team. You're not berating them. You're not, you're giving them constructive criticism, whatever it is. And you want to learn what your leadership style is and how that affects your business. So your style could be what the business needs, or it could be, it may need to be adjusted. And it also depends upon the situation that's occurring. So if you're just normal, day-to-day operations, that's fine. But if a, disaster strikes, whatever it is, maybe you need to hand off that leadership to somebody else. And you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with your people, with people who complement your leadership style and can fill in gaps where you may be lacking. So if you know that you're not great at, communication, find somebody who is. If you're, strong at, analytics, find somebody who's strong, it's something else that you're not at, whatever that is. You want to know what your motivation is as a business owner. So most small business owners, they get into business because they're passionate about whatever it is that they're selling, but others might be more passionate about just being their own boss or making money. There's nothing wrong about any of those situations. You just need to be aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then lastly, know what obligations you have outside of work. Starting a business, running a business is hard work, and you're likely going to have to give up time or commitment in other areas of your life. So be transparent and upfront with it about, what your family and friends can expect from you. So it might be less time. It might be, you're going to be stressed out, whatever it is. Just be transparent about it. And then set goals, which we'll get more on later, so that you can have a reasonable work-life balance. So if it's right now, for the next 12 months, I'm going to be out of pocket, but, after that, I'm going to have more time. Set those goals and be transparent about them. And so that's it on knowing your people.